So here is a surefire way to never hear your kids say, "I'm bored" during your homeschool summer. Hey everyone, my name is Mandy, the Handmade Homeschooler. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about kids and boredom and what you can do to ensure that your kids are not going to whine about being bored during the summer months. So we are now 2 weeks into our summer, and so far I haven't heard I'm bored, but I've got several activities and ideas for you that will hopefully make your summer a little bit easier. I also have a free download for you that you're gonna see. It's the same one that I'm gonna be using, and I just made it available for all of you guys to grab if you want one. Okay, so let's talk about what we can do to ensure that our kids are engaged and still using their brains in the summertime, but at the same time, you know, still have time to do cool things. So my kids are older. I've got one who's 16 and I've got one who is 12. And, you know, so I have kids who can really get into that I'm bored mode pretty quick because there's not a whole lot of toys and things like that going on in my house. But there are other hobbies and things that they're doing. And because we started taking a traditional summer a couple of years ago rather than us doing the year-round homeschooling like we had been doing, we have a longer stretch of time in between our last day of school and our first day of school. So we're not the type of family to have the kind of money to have like all of these cool activities. So my family is a lot like many of yours in where we are a one-income family. So, you know, we have to work within a budget and make sure that we have the time and resources to do the things that we want, but we have to also keep in mind that we are on a budget. And, you know, many of you know we are a military family, so that's also another stipulation there. So these are some great ideas for you to keep your kids still learning without having to buy a full curriculum or anything like that over the summertime. So one of the first things I'm going to suggest is IXL, and I will leave that down below in the description box. IXL is one of those things that I know from being a school teacher, and it's like $9, like $9.95 or $10 a month or something, and it's a subscription and you get a whole bunch of math, and I think they have science and maybe language arts now too, maybe even Spanish. Now you pay, I think, for each subject. What we primarily use this for is math. And it's just one of those things that gives the kids extra practice. And a cool thing that I found this year that they added was explanations on how to do the actual problems. Before, all the years prior, we had IXL during the summer, but it was just the problems. There was no explanation of how to do that type of problem. So if you hadn't learned that part of geometry or whatever they're doing, you were kind of up a creek without a paddle. So you had to go elsewhere to learn how to do that, and it was just extra practice for the things you already knew how to do. Well, now they added this cool thing where they show you how to do the problems and explanations. So that's a really cool feature. I'm not a partner of it or anything of IXL. We just use it and like it. So something that my youngest child is doing, he's going into 7th grade, so he is in middle school. He is actually in Mrs. Mindy's class for reading, and she has really cool things this summer going on, which I'm so excited about, and my son is so excited about. And we spent the better part of this morning getting ready for those things because I think it's on the 12th that it starts, and it's the 7th right now. So he's got, you know, I think till Monday, and she's doing a reading challenge. Now, if you aren't in Mrs. Mindy's class and you're not in there with us, I have a reading challenge PDF for you. I know you can't see it because of the sunlight. I apologize. I have a nice big window right here. But I have a reading list for you that you can download. You won't be in the program with us, but you can have a reading list too. So my son downloaded and printed his reading list for Redefining School, And her class basically can continue throughout the summer. And if you signed up for her summer classes like we did, then you have access to this stuff. So she's got escape rooms that she has linked to this reading challenge, and they're reading books to basically free their teacher from the escape room. It's really cool. So what we're doing is we're gathering up all of our books, and they have to read books from a certain genre that they studied all throughout last year. So he and his classmates, who also signed up for it, are going to be participating in this challenge. Now, if you weren't in her class, then you can't sign up for this challenge. That's why, like, I tell everybody, you got to sign up for this class. It's so cool. But if you were in the class with us over the school year or did any of that, then you probably got an email about it. So we signed up for the reading challenge / escape room stuff, and he's like super, super excited. I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure I read on Facebook, so take it with a grain of salt, that Pizza Hut still does their Book It program. And any of you like 80s babies and 90s babies remember the Pizza Hut Book It program? I think that's still actually going on, and I think you can participate if you're a homeschooler. Summertime reading programs can be so much fun, especially if your kid likes to read, and it's a great time to explore different genres that maybe they didn't realize that they would be interested in. Now, I know that happened last year with my youngest. Over the summer, he really had like this aversion to fantasy books. And then I bought him the Wing Feather Saga, and that changed everything for him. He thought that the covers were super cool, so he just started reading the books. He loved it, and then he moved on to other things like Lord of the Rings and the Dreamkeeper Saga from Crossway, and now he loves fantasy books. So really take that time to maybe explore other types of books that maybe your kids haven't had a chance to read yet, and you might find that they find a brand new series that they absolutely love. So some other things to do to keep your kids engaged and learning over the summer is Spectrum workbooks on Amazon. I don't have one here to show you. I didn't buy any this year. I didn't need any. But when my kids were younger, I loaded up on those Spectrum workbooks because they were only like $5 a piece. I think they're probably a lot more now, but I'm sure that the price has gone up by now. But when I bought them, you know, back in like 2016, 17-ish, they were between $5 and $10 a piece, and you could get them for whatever subject you wanted, and they could get extra practice in that subject over the summertime, and it only took like 10 or 15 minutes to do a lesson. So it was one of those things that was just really easy to do, and the kids really liked it. So try that. Also, TPT, Teachers Pay Teachers. There are all kinds of things on Teachers Pay Teachers that you can utilize. Just note that Teachers Pay Teachers and the Spectrum workbooks are going to most likely be secular unless you search out a Christian resource on Teachers Pay Teachers. So just keep that in mind, you know, for science and things like that, you know, whatever you're wanting to utilize. Know that it will come from a secular worldview most likely. So another really cool thing to use during the summer, Campfire units. So we have several of these Campfire units. I buy them all the time. I have a Campfire addiction. I love Campfire units. These are regular unit studies, but done in a beautiful way. The artwork is out of this world, and there is so much in these. I hate even calling it a unit study because it feels like so much more. And one of these would be enough for you to do throughout the summer because the big ones are usually about 12 weeks long. They do, however, have a 4th of July one. So look around Independence Day and grab that one if you want one to do on like American history. That would be a really great time to do that. Again, I don't work for Campfire or anything like that. I just love their products and I'm just passing them to you. We have the military one here. I have the veterinarian one here that I plan to do for 7th grade, but we'll see if we make it through the summer without actually cracking that one open because my youngest just loves stuff like that. So we'll see. But Campfire unit studies are fantastic to do any time of year, and they're really made for the entire family to get involved. And they have, when you buy a unit, you get several different books. So you get the elementary, middle, and high school / adult book. so the whole family can get involved. So it's a really fun thing for everybody to do together. Learning another language. That is also something that we have been doing over the summer. There is Duolingo, which is free, but just note that it is a secular company and sometimes you're gonna run across things, you know, if you're Christians like us, it's just gonna make you cringe. But I digress. That's just the way it is. So, you know, whatever, but it's free, which is great. We're not using Duolingo as much as Compass Classroom though. So I have my son enrolled in the Compass Classroom Latin class and he's got Latin 1 and 2. He is wanting to finish Latin 1 over the summer. We started super late with Latin 1. It was just one of those things I ran across. I was like, oh, that's neat. And he just started watching the videos and he was like, oh, I really like this. I had a premium membership and he was like, oh, I like this a lot. I want to take this class. And it was like April. And I was like, you want to start this class in April? And, you know, I just let him do it because when it comes to school and learning and things like that, I rarely say no if it's something that they want to do. So he wants to continue it throughout the summer and maybe start Latin 2 in the fall. So at the rate he's going, most likely he'll hit that. So we're excited to see him learning a new language and really enjoying it. My oldest, he has been learning Japanese on Duolingo for the last 2 years, and he really, really enjoys learning Japanese. He's in karate, so, you know, it kind of just made sense for him to want to learn Japanese because he's learning Japanese in karate class anyway. So everything kind of just like flows together with that. So, but it keeps them busy over the summer, and, you know, as long as everything is monitored, you know, your kids being on devices, however you work that, it's really easy to do, and it's something that they can do for 10 or 15 minutes while you make dinner or fold the laundry or whatever you happen to be doing. And the last thing I would suggest is the readers on Generations. So I have been collecting the readers. I have almost all of them. There's only a couple that I'm missing. And we've just been reading them for fun. And we have them on the shelf. And if you are a family that likes to read aloud, you're going to love these books. Right now, I am almost halfway through Stepping Heavenward. I love this book. It's written in a diary style, and it's not a true story, but it is a story that was written in the late 1800s, I believe, and it is such a wonderful, wonderful book. I highly recommend it to all Christian women and especially Christian teenage girls. It was first published in 1869, and it's such a beautiful story. I'm sure you guys are going to love this one. I'll leave links down below to my page for Generations, but the Generations readers are really great, and they're always coming out with new ones. And anytime I see a new one, I purchase it just to make my collection complete. And they always have such pretty covers. So these make great read-alouds for the entire family. So if you need something to read aloud over the summer, highly recommend these Generation readers. All right, that is all I have for this video. I hope that you were able to glean something from it, and I hope that you guys have a great summer. I hope it's off to a good start. Ours is kind of up and down. The weather has been really gross here lately. It seems like we get a day of sun like this, and then it's back to just pouring down rain. So it's just, there hasn't been a whole lot of things to do outside. We've been kind of cooped up and stuck inside for weeks now. So all of these things have come in very handy over the last couple of weeks for my family. So I thought it'd be a good idea just to kind of show you guys what we've been doing to just keep busy and keep our minds engaged, even though we're still on summer break. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a great rest of your day and happy homeschooling.